Hi, everyone. Here we are for another episode of Sovereign Sisters. You'll know that there's not three of us tonight, but hopefully there will be shortly. I'm Angela Atkins. That's Tammy Haynes. And we're missing Lisa Richards, who's having technical difficulties. And as soon as she can make it in, she will pop in and we'll get started. But we're going to leave her square there, knowing that we're waiting for her. But thank you for waiting for us to come on live. It was a little shaky there trying to get all the technology working, but we're doing well. So we're going to discuss Earth Day today. Well, at least it's celebrated as Earth Day. I won't say Happy Earth Day because we're supposed to be the stewards of the Earth, but we've clearly failed. We've allowed our Earth to be poisoned by pollution, geoengineering. We've got poisoned food and water, and we've got chemicals disguised as medicines, and there's just so much more. But as guardians of our planet, we need to do so much more, and we need to expand our minds to actually what Earth is. And with that, we want to have a discussion tonight about Earth, what it means to us, all the things involved, and maybe things that are considered conspiracy theories. But we love uncovering truths and exposing lies, and that's what we're here to do tonight. Right, Tammy?
Yep, absolutely.
So what's on your mind about Earth Day?
Sorry, I had to clear my throat there for a second. Well, you've already said it. I I say happy destruction of Earth Day because we are just screwing everything up. you know, every single day I'm hearing about more poison and more different and more foods. In our land, just everywhere, and it's like, what is going on? Um, we've been harping for a while that we need to have clean food. uh and people are starting to understand that, but now it's getting to the point where it's like everybody's afraid to eat anything because everything seems to have a poison in it. So why is that? If we're supposed to be taking care of the earth, taking care of our land, we can't do that with all the GMOs and the Roundup and glyphosate, all that stuff. It's crazy.
Well, it's not just that. As I've said before, we're trying to do as much as we can to be self-sustaining, just like you and Bruce.
Mhm.
You grow your own food, you raise your animals, you do it chemical free, and not everybody can do that, but I applaud you for doing that and being a good steward of your own land. But what can you do when you've gone to such extreme measures to make sure there's no chemicals on your land, that you're not injecting your animals, you're not giving them the horrible feed, that you're feeding them the right things that they're supposed to eat, and then they go spray the air and it
Climate
falls in
change.
your
Climate change.
Oh, climate change. Yeah, they're changing the climate. It's not happening naturally. That's the thing that makes me so angry. People talk about climate change and they're so serious that, we've got to do something. Well, stop the insane spraying.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
all those things that are changing the environment. It's not natural when you look up in the sky and you see this crisscross of
Mhm.
lines and people go, "Oh, that's just, contrails." Folks, contrails dissipate. Chemtrails create these gray clouds
Mhm.
that have all this atmospheric stuff in
Mhm.
them that
Right.
rain down on the ground. And so we have no choice. So even if you're trying to grow chemical free, you're getting bombarded by these
Yep.
chemtrails.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at a history of Earth Day, and it looks like Earth Day actually started in 1970. And what I found was funny. You have people protesting for this, and all these different things going on with pollutants and landfills and all this other stuff. And then at 2020, on the 50th anniversary, the topic for the 50th anniversary was climate. Well, it didn't say change. Well, now I can't find it, but it was had to do with the climate, and I had to chuckle because I'm like, oh my god, how many times have we heard this? Um, so what do we do? What do we do? We do the best we can. You
That's
know.
true. And that's true. We can only do what we can do in our own environment. But the thing is, Why are so many people complacent about this? They are destroying our earth.
Hmm.
They really are. They're doing everything they can to make people sick, make the soil bad, our animals unhealthy. So you're ingesting the food that you eat from these animals. God bless them that they live their lives to feed us. But once you've injected them with poisons or fed them the poison food, we get that in our bodies. What do we do? Why are so many people complacent and go, there's nothing I can do about it?
Right.
I'm really sick of hearing that.
Right. Um, Part of this, I'm wondering if all of this hoopla that's going on is really just to wake people up to the things that have been going on. Not saying that there aren't injections and hormones and glyphosate, but is it really as bad as what they're saying? Because honestly, we carry raw cheese from multiple different farms, and now all of a sudden you got to watch the animal rennet that they're putting into it, because it's either an FDA approved chemical that they're putting into the cheese. So now everybody's coming out, what's in the cheese, what kind of rennet are you using in the cheese? Everybody's getting panicked to the point where you're afraid to eat anything, and that just instills a fear, which does not help the situation.
But that's exactly what I think they do. I think they try to keep people in fear. What I am trying to do when I talk to people is motivate them to speak out. Say to whomever, the grocer, the farmer, if you deal with a farmer that allows, his cows to be injected or to take antibiotics, saying, I'm sorry, I'm not going to support you because of this. Let them know that you disapprove. Go
Sure.
to whatever store it is and you say, I don't want to buy your food because of it. But you've got to speak up. All this complacency of, oh, I can't get this and I can't get that. And
Right.
it doesn't do any good until you start speaking out. And that's the thing that I don't hear. I don't hear anybody in my area. We do it in the store. We're quite vocal. We'll say this, we'll actually look at something, boy, this is crap, and we'll put it back. And
Right.
we do it intentionally to make a scene.
Right.
So people then look and like, what are they doing? And then they look, or as I told you before on the podcast, we've had people come up and ask us questions.
Right.
That's what we're looking for. Get people involved, get people stirred up enough that they
Mhm.
then pass it on. And
Sure.
eventually it gets back to either the owners or what. And when they start losing their market share by you saying, no, I'm not buying your shit, excuse
Right.
me,
Right.
then hey, that's where you go. You speak with your dollars.
Right. Oh, absolutely. That holds true with everything. We see a lot more people in the market because they don't want to buy the stuff in the grocery store, because they're hearing about all the chemicals and everything that's in this food that you buy at the grocery store, which is great. But you still have the people at the grocery store buying the Doritos and the Purina puppy chow, and
Soda.
the bleached eggs,
Yeah.
the pasteurized milk. There's still too many people that are still relying on the convenience of just going to the grocery store and picking up what they need, instead of actually going out and looking for your local farms, looking who does what. I mean, there's multiple farms around us that I asked one year, are you spraying your strawberries? And I got well, so we're using and I'm like, okay, you just answered my question. You know what I mean? So it's too much work for some people, it seems, to go
I
out and
think it's
actually do
because
your homework and research.
no people, they don't want to. It really is that I know, I don't want to do that because it's just too inconvenient.
Right.
I keep telling people from the beginning, especially with clients you have to rethink what convenience
Mhm.
is. If it is affecting your body, meaning they're coming to me because they have an issue, whatever that issue
Mhm.
is, to get healthy, then you have to rethink convenience. If buying packaged products or chemically based products, I mean, all this chemically based food, plant based meat. There's no plant in it. The plant is the facility it comes out of. It is ridiculous. If you don't rethink that, then you're stuck in that same thing that you had before. It's not going to get you any healthier until you step into it and you make it happen. So I think we're going to have Lisa soon. Hopefully, I saw some. There she is. Yay, Lisa. Welcome. Your sound's
Oh,
not on.
My
I was muted.
Starlink
I was muted.
is act-
Oh, that connection's still bad, I guess.
Oh, I unmuted. Can you hear me?
I can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
hear you
Yep.
now.
Yes, it is. But
Yep. You're
Nice
blurry.
to see you.
I'll
Welcome.
stay on as long as I can.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotta love Starlink.
We got started on Earth Day and how the Earth is basically being poisoned, and we're now talking about, what are the things people can do, stop buying at the grocery store when they have nothing but poisoned food, and, start going out and doing the things that you need to do, and rethink what convenience is. Convenience doesn't mean you just take the first thing. It's just a whole different concept that I think people haven't gotten adjusted to. So
Well,
what's your thoughts on Earth Day?
yep. She's
Oh, did
still,
you
yep.
freeze?
Yeah, I'm thinking her internet connection's still not well yet.
All
Oh,
right.
there she's up.
There she is.
There she is.
Yay.
I'll
Um,
probably just have to sit here and look cute because I can't talk without sounding like a robot.
well, no, there you go. See, now it's all cleared up.
Oh,
You're all cleared up.
oh, yay. Yeah. So I was just talking about that too for Earth Day. What we need to do is start taking back
Yep.
control.
Yep.
Oops.
It,
The joys of live broadcasting.
yes, gotta
That's
love it.
okay. As you
Gotta love
can,
it.
just chime in.
Yep.
There's just, you were going to say, Tammy.
Actually, I don't remember what I was gonna say. It's people. We have been seeing so many people coming in that they're sick, always sick, always sick, always sick. When are people going to put two and two together? That why are you always sick? Okay, we're around people all the time. If we start to feel something coming on, we're popping our colloidal silver or our fire cider like right off the bat, and we're just not sickly people. And if we are sick, then we're like, okay, what's going on now? How do we have to heal this? So people got to start taking it into their own hands. If before it gets out of control, start learning how to try to fix yourself. What are you eating? What are you doing? If you're eating out at McDonald's, sorry, maybe you need to stop eating McDonald's or Arby's or Hardee's or any of those fast food restaurants. And I say it to everybody. We are not perfect by any means. Okay? Uh we do go out to a local restaurant quite frequently, actually, like maybe once a week. Uh and we know that the food isn't clean, but we understand that this is just, I'm tired of cooking all week long. I want to get out, I want to eat something else, and we will take control of that. So we understand that if we don't feel well, we understand why. It was our choice to go out and do it.
Yeah, and I think that's what people don't, they don't really have that mindset yet, that what you put in and on your body is what makes you you.
Right.
So if you're eating something that's unhealthy for you, no wonder you don't feel well. You
Right.
haven't given your body any nutrition.
Right.
And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. We've talked about it.
Right,
But as
many
far as,
times.
yeah, as far as the earth part of it goes, the simple thing is ask, and we ask at restaurants, we ask at farmers markets, where do you get your food?
Mhm.
If your local restaurant, oh, we get it through Cisco. See
Right.
ya, we'll go somewhere else,
Right.
because it's really important to know where that food comes from.
Right.
The quality of food makes a difference. And so people, like Tammy and Bruce, raising their own food, chemical free. Why wouldn't you go to, if you're in that area, why wouldn't you go to that? And if you're in your area, you can find out what's available to you.
Mhm.
It's not what people want to do. They want the easy thing. The grocery store's right down the street. Rethink convenience.
Right.
But let's go back to Earth.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're
I know I get lost in it.
we
Isn't
so
there
do I.
something?
So do
Yeah,
I.
there's some things you wanted to share. So
Well,
just
I thought it was interesting, because this has to do with the Earth, as well. The blob. Do you have the blob? Do you have the blob video, or which one do you have that's easier to come get to? Because
I
Lisa
have
normally does this.
I have Schumann.
Yeah, you could do the Schumann. Yeah, the Schumann
Okay,
resonance. All
let's
right,
talk about
let's
Schumann
talk about the
resonance.
Schumann resonance. So we
So the Schumann resonance is off the freaking charts. Can you feel it? So I don't trust what they tell us about the Schumann resonance. I just don't. And I'm going to tell you why. So quickly, the Schumann resonance is the measurement of the electromagnetic discharge from lightning strikes in the ionosphere. That's what they tell us. Okay, so why do they care? Why are they studying it? They've been studying it for decades. They already have all that data. There's something more to this, friends. I think that the Schumann resonance is literally our collective 8 billion minds intuitively preconceiving something that's going to happen. It's precognition on a global scale. Humans are antennas. We pick up on things intuitively, subconsciously. We pick up on things. What if our brains put out a signal? They just pick up on things telepathically, intuitively, subconsciously. We just pick up on things, right? Sometimes you just know something's going to happen, right? That's intuition. So 8 billion of us together, it has to be measurable. These white areas, that's very, very intense. We normally just get little slivers of that. We normally don't get it for days and days like this. That's very intense, okay? Now, a lot of times people will think that we're reacting to the Schumann resonance, that when the Schumann resonance is really crazy like this, that, oh, I can't sleep, and I'm a little more anxious, a little more revved up today, because of this. But I have an alternate theory. What if it's the other way around? What if we're not reacting to the Schumann resonance? What if it's reacting to us?
all right.
Can you tell
So
it's Lisa that controls the studio? We're working on it, but we're waiting on Lisa again. Go ahead,
so
Tammy.
so I heard this little bit, about the Schumann resonance, and all of a sudden something resonated with me, because I think he's on to something. I think that frequency, the high frequency that the Schumann resonance keeps picking up on, is us collectively throwing out our energy, or not throwing it out, but there's something with our energy that's making the Schumann resonance go off. So they make it sound like, every time the Schumann resonance is going crazy, it's off the charts, that our energies are changing, or that people are feeling it. I think he's right. I think it has to do with us. I think we are the ones collectively who are changing or activating the Schumann resonance. That's just my opinion.
I totally agree with you, and I think you see days where there's been sort of some fearful thing going on, and you see the Schumann resonance and all these, lightning bolts coming down. I think it's that fear resonation that's coming from people. I agree with this guy. I think he's right on
Yeah.
that. We're affecting the earth. Well, we are affecting the earth, and it's this interdependence that we have. So it makes perfect sense. You call the Schumann resonance the heartbeat of the earth. Well, how many hearts are beating on the earth? I
Mhm.
mean, think about it. If you've got 8 billion hearts beating with some sort of resonance that is affecting the whole equation in the world, it makes perfect sense that we're the ones that are causing the issues.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Lisa's going to work with us in chat tonight, because she's having some serious internet connection problems. So hopefully she's going to pipe in on the chat about what she wanted to bring up tonight on the Earth, on Earth Day.
Great.
Well, you had something else that you wanted to bring up about Earth Day.
Just the whole concept of we as the human race on Earth think we're the be all end all. Most people do. People sometimes talk about extraterrestrials or something else. Oh, Lisa has a comment about Schumann
Mhm.
resonator. Hold
Yep,
on. Astronauts need a Schumann resonator because they get sick when disconnecting from the Earth. That's an interesting point. I didn't
that is
know
an interesting
really.
point.
Yeah.
See, now she needs to be on here so she can explain that.
You need to, unless you're really good at typing it all out. What I
uh,
was where I was going with it was the fact that if and I believe there is one creator. No matter what you believe in or how you call your creator, I believe there's one creator of not just Earth, but of the universes that there are out there, that we need to expand our minds and stop thinking about we're the, like we're the chosen ones on Earth. That is really narrow-minded in my opinion.
And I think it's far from that. I think
Oh,
we are the
absolutely.
peons. We
And
are
I
the
mean, so
peons.
many, yeah, so many people think, it's just us on Earth. I think we have to look at all sorts of other options, extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, all sorts of things. Um, Lisa's still on the,
On the chat, yeah.
yeah,
She's gonna be on the chat. That's how she's gonna communicate with us because she can't get on the screen.
yeah. Sorry,
Um,
Lisa.
no, I agree. I think we all have to be very open-minded because I think what is coming is we're going to be very shocked if we think that we are the only ones here. Now, going back to source, I think that we are all our own well, not that we're our own creator. We are all very powerful. We create our own reality. So what we do will either move us in this direction or it'll move us in this direction. So, I think we really have to work on opening our minds, seeking guidance from the higher beings. I think we have a lot of help. We've been told that we just have to ask for the help and we will get it. I think we're all on a learning. um this is a learning planet, if you want to call it even a planet, right? This is definitely a human experience that we are having, and we're trying to learn from our experiences so that we can then better ourselves, you know?
I think one of the things that has happened is that we've been lied to so often
Mhm,
that we don't know the truth. And I just read this book about Admiral Byrd and his journey to the poles. And the thing that got me really thinking about that is he was told that he had to be quiet about what he found.
mhm.
And as the truth has come dripping out in different books, people call them again conspiracy theories or whatever you want to call them. I think there's always an element of truth there. And the one thing that I liked, and I'm going to see if I can bring it up, is his concept of inner earth, hollow earth. It's in the inner part of the earth that as someone navigates over the North Pole, that gravity or whatever force it is takes them away from the polar cap. So they never really get over the true north. They're always slightly off because over the top, there's a portal, let's say, an opening to inner
Mhm.
earth. And that was a really interesting concept for me, that there's another earth below our earth. And I thought that is really something to investigate. I think at this point we should be open to all sorts of
Mhm.
things. We shouldn't close our minds. How do we know? We didn't fly over the North Pole. We didn't go to the South Pole. And they say similarly that over the South Pole, there's probably another opening of some sort. But this was in the book about his flight, saying, there were different types of creatures, and that some ways that if the creatures left that inner earth, that was a woolly mammoth really a woolly mammoth, or did they actually come from that inner earth and find a way out? And then we found these carcasses outside in our land. So, could Earth be more than what we know?
Oh, absolutely. I'm all open for the hollow earth, the flat earthers, just everything. Tartaria, the Terra Infinita, that intrigued me. The Terra Infinita part of it really intrigued me. And this has that similar look to it. When you pull up the pictures that I had seen, and I had different pictures from the book as well. Um, this Okay, that's one of them. So this intrigues me. Here's our dome, here's our little spot. Do you have the other one? That's just the one picture.
The ice walls?
Yes, I think so. Yes. So this is part of the Terra Infinita books. And this intrigues me, and this actually resonates with me. We are the ones that are in the center here. We're in the center, okay? And then we're surrounded by the ice walls. Now they're saying, you talked about portals. They're saying that some of these, there's gateways or portals in some of these open sections of the ice walls, which can lead you to wherever. But then you have other continents and other land masses outside of us, and another ice wall, and then more land out of that. And there's a whole bunch of them. And one of the things that intrigued me with the Terra Infinita book was the fact that they were called circle environments. Okay. So this is one circle environment. And then completely in another section, there is a whole other continent, if you want to call it that, with walls out around it. And oh my God, there's a whole bunch of them. And the interesting part that they came about in the book, they talk about in the book, is that one of them is called the Pleiades, one of them is called Sirius, one of them is called Orion, one of them is Land of the Giants. So you have all of the, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So we think we're looking up in the sky and we're seeing uh Mars
Constellations.
or constellations. We're seeing the Pleiades, we're seeing Sirius. I don't think we're seeing any of that. I think that's all part of the dome. Those are just other circle environments within our um, within our earth, if you want to call it that. You know what I mean? So it's fascinating. This kind of thing fascinates me, and I have an open mind, because if it turns out that we will be able to travel to all these different places, can you imagine how beautiful some of these places are going to be? you know you think the United States is pretty, or other countries are really pretty. We haven't even seen half of this. um so we had a comment here. The idea that we have to save the planet is really just the ego talking. It really can heal itself. We just have to get out of its way.
Amen. Yeah, absolutely.
you know but this kind of falls into our my Earth Day kind of thing. This kind of thing just fascinates me. you know um and then if you go back to that other one, there's a whole bunch of video, or I'm sorry, images that we could have put in here, but I didn't want to beat a dead horse here. But you can see in the center, though, on the top picture in the center, that is us. That is supposed to be the United States, the whole world, the way that we look at it, with your Europe and your, Africa and the United States and all those other places. But then outside of that wall is a whole bunch of other land and water. And then now, how does the hollow earth fit into this? That's what I want to know.
Well, from what I understood is that what Bird said is that traveling into, not actually going into it, but traveling over it, you can tell that they have their own sun.
Yes.
So what we call like an aurora borealis is the reflection of their sun in our atmosphere. So it
Mhm.
makes sense to me that there's some sort of interconnectivity. And the fact that we're not able to travel there, we can't go to Antarctica. We have treaties that say, just average people can't go there.
Right.
Means to me that there's something about that
Sure.
there is a truth that they're hiding. And that's the
Absolutely.
kind of thing I want uncovered. I really want to know about that.
Oh, absolutely. That intrigues me. It's like, why can't we go to Antarctica? Why can't we go here? Um, one of the things, do you have the video of the blob? I know Lisa had said it was already uploaded on EVMux. Um, I don't know if you have it, if you can access it or not. We can hit it another time. But it goes back to this. If anybody saw Into Thin Air, we're going to give him the plug, because on the radar, the big news is this red blob came out of Antarctica and made its way up through alongside of Brazil, and it ended up in the Atlantic Ocean. And everybody was like, what is this? Is it some kind of energy field? Is it, that's what they're saying. It's some kind of energy. Now I'm also hearing that it was energy, but it was the bad energy that they were actually, what's the word? They were flushing them out. They
Hmm.
were flushing out this bad energy. And that's what you saw. And it wasn't actually supposed to go public. People weren't supposed to see it. But sure enough, a lot of us saw it and we were like, what is that? That's cool.
See,
So
I looked at it, and the first thing I thought was Project Bluebeam.
well, that was one of the other, so there was so many different theories. It could be
Yeah.
this. It was an alien spaceship under the water, it was all kinds of different things.
To me, I think when it's unexplained
Mhm.
and they say, "Oh, you're not supposed to see it," it's
Right,
something they want you to see for some reason,
right,
and
right.
it could be any number of things. But my hat goes on and goes critically, and like, yeah, I think they're making this happen for a reason. So
Okay.
Lisa says that might be why there's so many dolphin, whales,
Mm.
and fish beaching themselves all the time.
Oh,
Yeah, possible.
that is possible. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to remember all these things that they're doing to us, as on Earth, affect all the animals, the
Mhm.
fish, all the bugs and critters. They all get affected by it, and many of them, because of the size of the organism, can cause extreme damage to them, killing many of them.
Right.
So I think we need to, for whatever is going on, I'm just praying we get it to stop and we start reversing things and we start bringing back not only just the truth but the health of the earth. I mean, we have got a long way to go to heal our earth. There's just so many things that are wrong that we need to fix.
Well, I think we need to fix ourselves first. I think we
Absolutely.
need to fix our vibration, fix our frequency, um, and and I think that's going to fix a lot of other things. Um, the question that I have for anybody listening, is have you noticed your animals
Yeah.
acting, behaving differently? I can tell you after that whole stupid daylight savings change again, that had me messed up for an entire week and the dogs. It's like that's one of those things. It's like, why are we doing this? And
It's
how do we stop it?
intentional. It's intentional to cause that kind
Yes,
of,
I get
messing
it.
with your frequency.
But
Yeah.
but if we're so powerful, how can we make that stop? My
I
God,
mean, different
Arizona
areas
doesn't do it.
that's what I'm saying, different areas did it, and it's because the people stood up and said, "No." If
Right.
people would just realize if we all collectively said no,
Yep.
this stuff would stop. But
Immediately.
because
Yes.
people are afraid and people
Yes.
have been conditioned to follow authority, I mean, that's the one thing that God bless my dad. He always told me, "Be a leader, not a follower." And I will respect a role, but I don't respect the person in the role if they don't deserve the respect. So if
Right.
you've got leaders who aren't deserving of respect, they're not deserving of following their authority either. So that's what you got to do. You got to
Right.
stand up and say no. And at this point, we would lose our earth if we didn't start now, making things happen. And
Right.
whether you do it in small ways, meaning, your own growing your own food or whatever it is, or speaking out, just do whatever you can do. We have to make the change. It's time for us as a nation to say no more.
Right. No, I agree. I think the whole complying, everybody complying with all of this stuff that they're telling you to do, you got to stop. You just got to stop complying.
Yeah,
Um,
Lisa says, in all our authority, we're selected, not elected. That's
that's right.
absolutely true. So if you look at that and you realize these are not the people that were voted for by the populace, that they were selected by some uber authority,
Hmm.
some globalist, then what we say is, we don't support you, therefore we don't approve of your authority, especially since none of them have, oaths of office where they're saying, yes, I pledge to be responsive to the Constitution and the people of the United States. So if they don't, why are we following them? They are ruining the world we live in. So when are you going to say no more?
Right. Right. We keep getting off the Earth Day
I
topic.
know. But, it really does fall into it because the
Does.
earth is being ruined by the stupid things that they
Right.
do. I mean, we talked about geoengineering, the
Mhm.
chemtrails,
Yeah.
all the ridiculous laws they have that, if you have this animal, you have to register it. So if there's, like if you got chickens, you register your
Yep.
chickens. 'Cause if there's an outbreak of avian flu, we know how to come and kill your animals. You come kill my animals, you're going to meet up with,
Yep.
my pew pew
With my
as
9 millimeter.
yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah, no, it's crazy. They just keep throwing more and more stuff out there. But it goes back to what I've been hearing a lot lately is that they keep throwing things at us, and yet here we still are.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Okay. We are our own healers. We are powerful, and they don't want us to be powerful. Wait until we can do these portals and the time travel and all of these different things. I'm super excited about it. I think this is going to be awesome. Getting to do things that they're I've been hearing a lot lately. Everybody's saying there's got to be more to this life
Yeah.
than just getting up, doing my 9 to 5 job, coming home, sleeping, getting up, do the same thing, eat dinner, sleep, eat, and poop.
So Lisa says, and rightfully so, this is our home. Our children and grandchildren will remain here long after we're gone. We need to take back control or they'll be the ones suffering.
Right.
We think we're suffering now. As I said, freedom is only one generation away from being lost. It's true. So if you don't can take control of yourself, your home, your earth, whatever piece of land you have, whether it's, a small postage stamp or many acres,
Mhm.
it's yours to take care of. And so don't let anybody push you around. That
Right.
authority is only true if you accept it. I mean, people just don't understand that. It's like so many times people say, well, you have to do this. I always say, no, I don't. That's my standard answer. No, I don't.
Right.
Neither do you. So if somebody says, oh, you live in this community and so your lawn has to be this height and you have to use these chemicals, you say,
Right.
no, I don't.
Right.
You
Or your
really
fence has
don't.
to be so high. Your
Yeah.
fence has to be, all these rules. Yeah.
People just give in to authority because we've been conditioned. Look at what we've done. Schools indoctrinating you into
Mhm.
sitting still, following orders, don't think for yourself, recite, this rote thing so you don't have to think about it. It's all backwards. It's all backwards.
Right. Yeah, I was just thinking, that just sparked there's a, uh, what did they call it? A bingo. Oh, a drag bingo happening in the next town over, this coming Saturday. And I'm like, seriously? So
And we're
what are
the
people
ones
gonna
saying
do?
no.
What are people gonna do? Are they gonna actually protest this and say this is ridiculous? Or are we all just going to sit back on our hands and do nothing like we always do? Why are we letting these schools indoctrinate our kids? There's just so many questions, and again, complacency.
Yeah.
Everybody's just complacent. Okay, like, oh well, I'm I work all day long, so I need somebody to babysit my kids during the day, in school, or those kind of things, instead of taking your own responsibility
And
to be sovereign.
the thing you talk about schools, people think they can't homeschool because it's so difficult. It's
Right.
because they've told you that,
Right.
you have to have this much time and this many things. No, you don't.
Right.
School doesn't need to be 8 hours a day or six
Right.
hours or how many hours it is. You take the kids outside and teach them how to garden.
Right.
You learn to count. How many seeds did you put in? You
Right.
take them outside and learn what the animals do. I mean, as when your children are little, you get these little toys. What does the duck say? Quack, quack. Well, take them
Right.
out and have the duck talk
Right.
to them, or
Right.
take them to a farm if you don't have one.
Right.
Introduce them. Homeschooling doesn't mean you replicate the public school system, which is totally broken. That's
Absolutely.
why the earth is way is because nobody knows how to take care of it. We've been
That's right.
told what we can and cannot do.
And it's gotten worse over the years. So, fortunately, our grandkids are homeschooled through a cyber school, though. but I'm telling you, they get their homework done within an hour or two, and then they got the rest of the day to do whatever they need to do. And they're learning how to take care of the lawn, they're learning how to take care of the chickens, they're learning, all the things that are realistic in life, you know.
Not everybody needs to be some big influential professional. You need people who can cook, clean, sew, garden, all those things that are going to make you a productive human being. And you learn other skills while you're doing them. Like I said, count the seeds or whatever. You can learn that. You can learn to read by introducing books that introduce these topics to them. My oldest, she was reading at 3 because I was a stay-at-home mom and I didn't know any different back then. And we're going way back. I didn't know any different. I said I didn't want somebody else to raise my kids. And she was the brightest child I ever knew. I mean, she could handle being in adult situations because she was exposed to so much. Kids today are so shy and so unable to look at you. And I'm thinking, how are they going to be stewards of our earth? Because they can't formulate good thoughts of how to do things unless somebody tells them, well, you recite this or you do it this way and there's only one way to do it. That doesn't make for a good
Right.
future of our earth.
Absolutely. No, I think these kids need to be taught the realistic ways of life, and we've always said, get out and play in the mud, go play, go do stuff, go get dirty, see, farm here, don't care. So today on Earth Day, we're out there mowing the lawn, we're working in the garden, weeding a little bit, pulling radishes, cleaning eggs, and I'm out there in my bare feet. He's out in his bare feet, so we're grounding. That is our way of contributing to our earth, okay? By raising our frequency, by grounding ourselves, is how we're helping, with the collective.
And
Yeah.
you take the kids when they're young, you take them out, you teach them those
Mhm.
things, then that's something that gets passed on for generations. They learn those things, then they're able to pass it on to their children. That's the way you reclaim the earth, that you actually become one with nature, so to speak, where you're out there, hands in the dirt. We have been so fear mongered about getting dirty and germs and
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
the
And
germ
it's so
theory.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Back in my day when I was a kid, I'm not even going to say how long ago, but back then, you went out, you played in the
Mhm.
dirt.
Yeah.
Nobody got sick.
Drank from the hose, the garden hose, drank from the hose.
Right?
What they used to turn on the fire hydrants and used to like play in the fire hydrants,
Running.
Yeah. Run around the mud, the dirt, how many times do you jump in those puddles and splash everything? Nowadays it's like everybody gets yelled at. The kids get yelled at. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
No, get in there, get dirty.
And that's
Absolutely
the
correct.
other thing that, I think it was Bruce that said something about the earth is self-healing. We have to remember we're self-healing creatures.
Mhm.
We, instead of running off to get some pill or have some doctor tell us what drug we need to take, we need to start looking, how do we heal ourselves?
Mhm.
I mean, the perfect example is I cut myself working in the garden. I don't know if you can see it. I cut it.
No, not
All
much.
I did is rinse it off.
Mhm.
I mean, that's all I
Right.
did. And amazing. It grows a scab and then the skin will be put back together. That's self-healing. Our earth will do that if we stop putting poison into it,
Right.
if we start giving it nutrients and letting it grow. The one thing I noticed with the garden this year, because we do all natural, everything is from a homemade or a product that we know has nothing in, no chemicals in it, and we use all electroculture. We have the biggest, fattest worms you ever want to see. It
Nice.
is amazing.
Hmm.
And I'm like, this is all you have to do in order to replenish the earth, is do it without chemicals, do it naturally. And the other thing I noticed is that we have more animals in our yard than we ever have. We have groundhogs and rabbits. Now, we don't have a farm. We just have a
Mhm.
little acre of land, but we've got all these animals who come in. We always laughed. I said they come in because they like eating the organic grass because
Right.
in all the years we've lived here, we never sprayed it with anything.
Right.
That's what you need to do. Start somewhere. Stop, throw away all those products that you use, dig up the dandelions and make a tea. Don't spray the Roundup on them.
Yep.
It's just crazy.
Oh yeah.
Don't eat the dandelions if you've sprayed them with Roundup
No,
already.
no, yeah. That's
You're
why
gonna have to
we made several batches of dandelion tea already. Um, yeah, I was so we have a question here. Are they still handing out the trees at schools for Earth Day? So back in the day, our daughter used to get a tree on Earth Day that we would plant. And we were just reminiscing about that today, about how big that tree was. But of course we moved away from that property, and we wonder if it's still there. Probably not. But they used to hand out trees, plant a tree for Earth Day. I doubt that they do that now. They give out trophies instead because you participated.
That is probably one of the worst things they ever did. Everybody gets a trophy. That is
Yep,
ridiculous. How do you ever learn to accept rejection?
that's
Because
right.
life is filled with
Oh
rejection.
yeah, oh
I
yeah,
mean, I was in the theater for like the first 25 years of my professional life. If you couldn't handle rejection, you are not making it anywhere. And
right,
it's just so ridiculous that today, if somebody says boo to a kid and they break into tears, you're
right,
like, what?
right,
Because they don't know how to handle rejection. And
right,
I'm not trying to malign kids or to be negative, but we really need to get out of the mindset that everything has to be perfect.
right,
Kids fall and skin their knees will heal. You clean them, you
right.
kiss them, you move on. You don't make a big deal out of it. But these days, everybody coddles
Yep.
everybody.
Well,
It's
and
crazy.
start accepting constructive criticism. If
Yeah.
someone is, not necessarily, they're not berating you, but they're telling you, they're giving you some advice, accept that. Maybe it hurts your feelings for a second, but then realize that, oh well, maybe I need to think about that, or change that, or do something different. you know um some people just get so bent out of shape about a little bit of well, now you're just, being rude to me. Come on.
And the other thing is, I'm because I come again from a different generation. I'm used to asking, "Hey, just give me your feedback. If I'm doing something, I'd rather know than not know." And people don't do that anymore. You can't give anybody feedback. You have to always, "I don't want to upset you," or
Right, don't want to
really
offend you.
temper
Yeah,
it and
yeah,
everything. And Lisa's right. Criticism makes you better. It
absolutely,
does. Because
absolutely.
when you build a thick skin
Yep,
and then you learn from it and you
yep,
either don't repeat it so you don't get the criticism again,
right,
because that's what making mistakes are. They're to help learn. They're
right,
learning experiences.
yep, absolutely. Oh, Lisa, we miss you. Angela and I are holding down the fort.
We're doing our best, Lisa.
We're trying. So we'll definitely have to do another segment. We can continue on with this, or we'll have other videos, or short clips. What she do?
I
Oh,
like the
oh
next I
yeah.
love
Stupid should hurt. Yeah, there's a t-shirt. Yeah, he has a t-shirt that actually says stupid should hurt. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I always say you can't fix stupid. You really
Well, you
can't.
can't fix
You just
stupid. I
can't.
know. I know.
So
But it
Lisa says a person will go out of the way to tell as many people as possible if you do something wrong, but if you do something good, they rarely tell
you're
anyone.
right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, you're
Isn't
absolutely right.
it? Shouldn't you just say? And I try to every time I talk to someone, if I have criticism, I always say something nice first. It's like, Tammy, I love your hat, and then whatever I
But
need to say. No, but I love your hat. Did you hear about, maybe something was going on? And, I try to couch it in that way. It's not like I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, although I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. But if I'm trying to pass on criticism, you want to do it in a way that doesn't destroy a person. Most
mm,
people come out and say, that's just stupid.
yeah,
Well,
I need to work on
okay.
that. I need to work on that because I'm rather blunt. I just I just
Well,
gotta
it's okay
blurt
in
it
the
out
right
in a
situation.
nice way.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather somebody say, hey, you really screwed that up, but here, let me help you next time. It's like I'm gonna be all over Lisa. What did I do wrong? I don't know how to work all these controls. I'm winging my way through this. But the good thing about it is she won't make me feel bad. She'll say, it's okay. She's telling me now, it's okay. And I think that's what we need to do. I'm going back to Earth again. I think that's what we need to do. So you did spray Roundup. So you did eat chemical laden food. Okay, if you're aware now you stop and you say, okay, what can I do to make this right? Well, I'm going to get rid of all those chemicals and never spray my yard again. I'm going to love having dandelions in my yard. I don't understand people who want the golf type grass. That doesn't make sense. I love going out and seeing the little purple flowers, the little yellow
Yeah.
flowers, all the different things, the
Yeah.
wild strawberries. If somebody were to spray my yard, I think I'd take my pew after them because there is no way I want those natural things gone. They're beautiful to me. Don't you find them beautiful when you walk outside?
Well, yeah, I mean, most people think that they're weeds. I
And
was
weeds
out
are good for you.
Yeah, I was out picking dandelions the other day because Bruce was talking about making dandelion tea. So he'd picked some, and then I went out and picked some other ones. And as a matter of fact, we are making a dandelion tincture right now. So that once that is done, then we can just take dandelion at any time because it'll be
What's it?
preserved.
Dandelion, burdock root, and milk thistle's great for your liver.
Mhm. Yeah,
So, I mean, you take these things that normally people think, oh, I got to get rid of them in my yard. Uh, and you make something healthy, something
mhm,
medicinal. Stinging nettle. How many people cut that down? Because
right.
they think, and all you got to do is, boil them a little bit and then you can make them into a
Yeah,
tincture. All these things. This is God's way that He made earth perfect for us,
mhm.
and we're the ones screwing it up.
Right. Everything we need is right here. It
Yeah.
really is. You know.
So,
Grayson. So we have a comment. I think we have to give one another grace and educate so we can all be better, can be better as a whole for the earth. I agree.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're all going to make mistakes, but that's okay. That's how we learn from them. We grow, we help. This is what I think. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is my purpose. I thought I had my purpose and it was going well for many, many years. And then also my purpose changed. Um, and I really think just helping to share the knowledge that we are learning with other people is part of the purpose. Okay, if we're learning something and we realize, oh my gosh, this works really well, then let's share it with everybody. Doesn't cost anything to share that knowledge. Too much greed is out there, too much ego that I got to have money. If you want to know my secret, you're going to pay me. That's not what this is about. This is about teaching as many people as you can, because once you learn, it's the same thing in the animal world here. When I educate people on the animal nutrition, it's the same thing. It's not competition. It's knowledge. So if I can teach you how to help keep your animal healthy, and you see the results, now you're going to turn around and tell other people, or they're going to see it as well. So the more that we all become knowledgeable and we share what we know, instead of being, one of those people that are, nope, can't share my secrets with you. you know this is all how we grow.
Yeah.
um so
Going back
yeah.
to what you said about, um, wow, just lost that word. Oh, your purpose.
Hmm.
I think I think life is ever evolving.
Hmm.
And so it makes sense that your purpose evolved. Maybe because when I was young, my purpose was to raise my children, and I thought that was staying at home, giving them what they needed at the time. And that was my purpose. But then that evolved. They grew. I have to grow too. And so don't think there's only one purpose in life. Well, there are many things we do throughout our lives, and they're
Hmm.
all part of the divine plan for us.
Right.
Whether or not we respond to it is, I think, the real questions. If you are called in a certain direction and you go, I can't go there, but that calling keeps nagging you, it's probably there for a reason. You should
Right.
probably investigate it.
Right.
So it's not something you should be afraid of, to change what you think your purpose is or to look in other directions.
Right.
And Lisa says most of those who made a mistake were led there by a lie.
That is
That's
true.
very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been lied to just about everything in our
Mhm.
lives. We've been lied to about our health. We were self-healing. We've been lied to about, the medical establishment. They're not there to help you.
Right.
Sorry. I
Right.
mean, for those who do, emergency care for acute injuries, if you've broken bones or something, yes, I do know that you probably could use somebody to help set a bone. We could probably learn to do it ourselves, but there are emergencies that you do need somebody trained for. But I think this modern day chronic healthcare, and keep coming back. It's just a money making
Hmm.
scheme. You
Yep.
are self healing. You got a sniffle. You don't have to see a doctor. You
Right.
really don't. You need to get a good book on, homeopathic or herbalism or some sort of natural way of healing and start learning and just start where you are. Whatever
Right.
you know, just build on it.
Well, and those things will come to you. I know when like one day all of a sudden I heard about homeopathy, and I'm like, what is this? And I just jumped into it face first, and I said, let's do it. And I mean, I went and downloaded this whole manual, kind of went self-taught, and then started looking for training and, like real certified training. And it has been my passion for 11 years,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to go back, to not doing that. So it's yeah, we all
My
find it, and it's always evolving.
Yeah, and I think that's like with me. I mean, I went down the traditional path,
Mhm.
figured out that, yeah, this wasn't the way to go, went down the health coach path because I really wanted to learn to heal myself and help others, which
Right.
I'm grateful because that's really important to me. But now I'm feeling I have to even go a step further. So I'm working on my naturopathic
Mhm.
certificate
Yep.
because I feel like there's so much more. And it doesn't matter what your age or what you've done in the past, you can always change. You can
Right.
always do something else.
Absolutely. Because you're not going to lose once you understand that, or you have that knowledge, it's there. So even though you can move on to other purposes or other things that interest you, you still have that knowledge. So yeah. Yeah.
So let's do a wrap up on
Yep.
Earth Day because we're nearing the end.
Yep.
So, do you have any final thoughts on Earth Day?
Uh just nope. I I really don't, because it's like yeah, no. I'm not even going to comment. That's good.
Well, my thoughts is that it was a plan to be co-opted by whomever, the powers that be, to keep us distracted away from what really the Earth is.
Mhm.
That it is our home, like Lisa said. It is where our children and our grandchildren will grow up.
Mhm.
And if we don't leave it in a good state, they won't have it to enjoy. And so I don't need a day to celebrate Earth. Every day is a day to celebrate Earth. And every day we should do what is right, that Earth grows and becomes the way I think the divine creator wanted it to be.
Yeah. And Lisa says, plant some seeds, not only in the soil, but in as many minds as possible.
How
With
beautiful. That's a
that,
great way to end this.
that's a great ending.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Lisa.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, everybody. So glad you're here. I hope we'll see you next week, and all three of us will be on
Yeah.
camera, hopefully.
Yep. Yep.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.